welcome to the YouTube channel of Kanak Info Systems LLP, your one-stop shop for all ERP related solutions. In this video, we are going to discuss what the role of an ERP implementation partner is. So let's get an answer to this question in the following slides. Okay, the first one in the row is business understanding and process study. As its name suggests, it is all about understanding client's business. Okay, so it means that you would be sitting with all the department heads and asking them about how they are managing the system as of now. Are they using any Google Docs? Are there any Excel sheets or any other legacy system that is currently in use? Are there any approval levels that they are following? What are the inefficiencies? We got to note them. We got to ask them about any compliances or industry standards or best industry practices that are to be followed. We can recommend them, and then the end result of this conversation and sessions would be a gap analysis document. Gap analysis document will have their as-is process versus the to-be process. This gap analysis document will lay the foundation for the user requirement specification and the functional specification, which we are going to cover in our next slide. Okay, the other role of an ERP implementation partner is requirement document. So the partner sits with different departments and gather the requirements. In-depth analysis and business understanding is jotted down and converted into a form of a document. The initial document is called the user requirement document, which comes directly from the users. Then the same specification is converted into a more detailed form of specification, which is called the functional requirements specification. It serves as a system function, interfaces and detailed behavior for developer. It serves as a document for the development team to be referred to. At the same time, this URD and FRS, both documents are signed off by all the stakeholders so as to bring them onto a single page. Another role of an ERP implementation partner is to design the solution and define the architecture for the ERP to be implemented, which comprises of a few steps as showcased in this slide. For example, the module selection, what are all the modules that are required to be implemented, data structure and modeling means, what kind of data we need to import, and what is the relationship between different document types or objects and different fields. So we got to get into the nitty-gritties and define the modeling and structure of the data. And then user roles and workflows, what all are the users to be created in the system, what permissions need to be given to those users. This is very important. Is there any need for changes in the form layout or view? Are there any integrations, third party APIs required? Who will be giving or procuring those APIs, from where these APIs will be got, whether the customer will be giving these giving these APIs, or it will be the role of the partner to get the APIs, and what are the SLAs for the monitoring of this integration. Okay, so this is a very important role which can either make or break the implementation of an ERP for any organization, right? Which is configuration versus customization. So the partner here needs to be very wise in understanding and distinguish between these two things, which is the configuration and customization. So we need to sit together with the customer and try to minimize the customization as much as possible. Why so? The more we stick to the core version of an ERP, the better it is. Okay, so in order to limit the number of customizations made, we need to see whether this is possible with some configuration or not. The next important role of an ERP implementation partner is data migration. When we talk about data migration, data can be of primarily two types, which is the master data, which comprises of customers, masters, customer, suppliers, products, taxes, chart of accounts, employee, etc., and stock balances as well. plus there can be transactional data as well. Sometimes clients say that we want to migrate from an old system, legacy system that they have been using already, and they want each and every transaction to be coming in here for auditing purpose, let's say for 5 years. Then it becomes a bit troublesome. It's not an easy journey. So we need to be very sure what we are doing, and motivate the customer to get only the master data imported plus the AR and AP balances. That is the quite easy and fastest approach. But still, transactional data can still be imported. It's not a problem, but we should avoid costly errors and inconsistency in data. Another important role of an ERP implementation partner is user training and change management. Under this, there should be department tailored training. For example, sales department should have training, store department should have training. We should train the production team as well, accounts and end users and admin as well, so that they can provide first hand support to their teams, right? And then once the training is given, SOPs and user manuals and videos should be provided, so that they can refer back to what they were trained on, or how to make best use of the system and make the ERP implementation a success for everyone. Next important function of an ERP implementation partner is user acceptance testing and complete overall testing. So this testing is generally broken down into few types of testing. The first one is process test, validate end-to-end business workflows. It makes sure the workflows that you have set up are working perfectly. Then is the integration testing, which means if there is an integration with a biometric, if there is an integration with some third-party tool, that has to work as expected. Third one is performance test, measure systems responsiveness and load capacities. For example, client is expecting 100 users to use the system. So we can try the system putting a load of around 150 users maybe, so that we are rest assured that system can bear the load of that many users. The fourth in the row is error handling test, which ensures graceful recovery and clear exception management. So if there is how the errors are being handled. So this is all about error handling. Then is the fifth one is very important one, which is the user acceptance testing, taking acceptance of each and every user, the departments which like sales, purchase, manufacturing, accounting. We have to get the go aheads so as to make the system good to go. Then outcome of this, all of this testing is the reduction of risk, disruptions, functionality failures and costly post-launch fixes. So in order to avoid this testing and user acceptance test should be performed very well. Once the user acceptance testing is done, the next step is go live execution, smooth transition to the production, which means we need to make sure the data migrated is correctly validating. The data is correct. We need to validate the data, and there should be a rollback plan as well. Set up the production environment, set up the users, parallel run with the legacy system. So especially in case of accounting migration, let's say if someone is migrating from QuickBooks to Odoo or ERPNext, in such cases, or to any other ERP for that matter. So in such cases, people or clients would want to run the current accounting system parallelly. It is important to make sure the balances and transactions are happening correctly in the newer system. The role of a partner does not ends up after making the system go live. It starts from there actually, because implementing an ERP is easy, but taking it to the next level and making the customer use the same ERP for years, that is the real win. Okay, so to make it a real success for the end client and give him the ROI, we should be able to provide live support, go live support, post live support should be there. So what all are the elements for that? Just to name a few: bug fixes and corrective support, performance tuning, user support and training, minor corrections like there is a new field to be added in the report, there is the form needs a new field, like that, or some placement of the field needs to be changed, things like that. And the what is the end goal of doing this? By doing this, you will make the ERP a trusted business critical asset, and your so that your client would not live without it. Okay, the client went live, you are providing them go live support, and it is all going on well. Now the client is well aware of how to use an ERP and the functions, but then there is a need to improve it. Definitely there is always scope for improvement. So you can add a new module, you can optimize the performance, you can provide them mobile apps and portals, okay, and you can maybe expand this ERP to their different branches, or maybe take it to the next level by integrating it with AI, providing the customer with better analytics and introduction of AI agents that can make life not only easy for the internal team of ERP but for their customers as well. Okay, once all of these steps have been taken and we have gone through all the steps, now comes the conclusion part. So you can see a table here which clearly depicts ERP implementation without a partner and with a partner. So without a partner there are lots of trial and error. With a partner there is a structured roadmap, and the risk of failure is very high when you are experimenting and you don't know, because it's a skill set, it's a special required skill set. And a partner, especially an ERP implementation partner, has been doing it for quite a few time now, and this is the job that partner is doing. So we should leave it to the expert, as they say. And then poor user adoption, so user won't adopt it. Maybe you can keep on trying the system for 2-3 years, but by then technology changes, tech takes over. So but when we are implementing it with the partner, you will train your user to use the system, and they still can use the system very well, plus you can make them use an upgraded system. So another important part is the scope creeps up. When you are doing it without a partner, the scope creeps up, which means you don't know what is to be done first and what is to be done next, and you work in a haphazard manner. You implement an ERP, or I won't even call it an implementation, I would call it as an experimentation. So that experimentation doesn't last that long in most of the cases, and there is ample amount of investment already being made, not only monetary but time as well. Then comes data mismatches. You don't know the recommended way data should be put in. You have been doing hit and trial. So but on the other hand, when you are getting it done through a partner, the data is clean and verified data, and you have someone to look at the mistakes as well, who can point out, okay, this is wrong, this has been done wrongly, okay, we have to do it like that. And when you are doing it without a partner, there is no accountability and responsibility set. But while on the other hand, when you are getting it done through a partner, there is single point of responsibility. You can pinpoint to the partner that, okay, you should have told us this before, this shouldn't have been like that. So in order to avoid all this, in the next video we will be covering how to choose a partner, how to choose an implementation partner. Okay, we have got it by now, after going through all of these slides, that what is the role of a partner. So let's say now you are thinking about choosing a partner. So how should we be choosing a right partner? In the upcoming video we'll be covering that. Thanks a lot for watching and going through all these slides. Have a pleasant day.